Issue 165. This story is called Worlds Collide. Quite a coincidence since Archie had a giant story arc called that. I think I'll like this better. Apparently, Fang didn't shrink Sonic and Amy. He just hit them with the ray gun that made them sit down. Which is odd, since shrinking is his whole gimmick. Like, of all the things that you could hit someone with involving a ray gun, you could hit them, you could electrocute them into unconsciousness. Why would you only make them sit down? I guess Eggman wants them alive, but still injure them, at least. When Eggman says that when the dust clears, he'll be Supreme Ruler again, Sonic asks, "So how come the process won't affect you, creep?" Eggman reveals he has a magic gem that he forced the wizard to give him, and its powers protect him from all dangers. Why did he say, convinced, when he's a proudly evil villain? Wouldn't he be bragging about torturing him to do it? And again, we should have seen him get that gem instead of it coming out of nowhere as a Deus Ex Machina. This is the second time Eggman taking advantage of a wizard conveniently off screen has been brought up. It's literally a wizard did it. Though it's fantasy universe, so it's fine here. Was he at least the same wizard that made Sonic forget about the shrinking belt? What's his name even? We don't even have a name. Is he the Good Ixis? Sonic has a very forced line where he says that just what he hates about this planet is magic. Hello? You're a magical blue hedgehog who can run at the speed of sound, create tornadoes, and vibrate yourself enough to break free of anything. And I'm expected to believe you don't know you're magical yourself? Why be opposed to magic so vehemently when you use it all the time? Does he not want anyone else to have it? Hypocrite. And this is so ironic that he's the one who hates magic. It's like a reverse of Flint's comic where Eggman is the one who hates magic. For no reason. And it makes even less sense with Sonic since he's literally a magical hedgehog. Anyways, Grimer hits him with a ray gun because he had been wasting time talking about that instead of immediately running up to him and spin dashing at him at Sonic speed. We then see the frog version of the ugly princess in a text box asking what she could possibly do to stop Eggman from pressing a button. I guess it's better that we see her before she stops him because otherwise it would come out of nowhere. Because I would have assumed she'd have left the room by now in fear because I wasn't seeing her in this issue at all until now. But still, the text box shouldn't be blatantly spoiling that she'll help with clumsy foreshadowing. I'm torn on this. The comic doesn't have a middle ground. It either has clumsy foreshadowing that immediately gives the twist away, or things come out of nowhere. The Frog Princess uses her tongue to steal Eggman's gem just as he's starting the machine. Sonic says he's in the same boat as everyone else, as everyone's floating in the air looking blue. And Fang tells Grimer in a panic to make it stop when the process can't be reversed, and he should know that. Was he not told that this would happen to him? Guess not, because otherwise he shouldn't be surprised at this. Shamar Nazar's zones are added to a redesigned planet Mobius, so I guess Mobius was made bigger to fit all of those zones in it, and thus have worse gravity. And Sonic and Amy are warped to Emerald Hill Zone conveniently, instead of killed or kept in the same place as before, which has to still exist because of what just one panel ago revealed. Also, why aren't they with the others? Amy says there's no evidence of destruction, and so Eggman's got it wrong. Will she be proven wrong? Eggman says that while he didn't emerge as ruler, I guess because he lost the gem, he can still try to kill them. Eggman's fist hitting the ground breaks some of it beneath him, which I wish was explained as him having cyborg super strength, because this is pretty cool. I could totally buy Eggman having super strength and making him more of a credible threat against Sonic, if only because of his cyborg eyes already being a sign of cyborgness, and him being big. But it makes no sense for a normal human to be able to do this. Then again, he was created by Emerald Energy and all of the world's evil, so of course he has magic in him. Sonic runs around at super speed, avoiding his attacks, and punches him in the chest, finally being able to punch Eggman for once, sending him toppling over as Sonic's friends all gather around. Amy wastes time trying to tell Eggman that the reason he'll always fail is because he's evil, and that makes him his own greatest enemy. Why is she trying to reason with someone who's evil because of absorbing all the world's evil, meaning he's irredeemable and hopeless? And I still haven't gotten decent elaboration on why Kintobor reverted to Eggman. It still feels extremely arbitrary since he should have been reverted to him permanently from the Emerald Energy being drained of him. Grimer tells Eggman that they'll rule again, And for some reason Eggman tells him to shut it, instead of appreciating his optimism, being bitter. Why the fuck are the freedom fighters letting them leave? Why the fuck isn't Sonic just running away to get some rope and duct tape, and then tying them all up to imprison them? He tied up somebody else with their own clothing fabric. I think he did it twice. Why in the hell would he ever let them leave? This is the most arbitrary way to let Eggman be the villain again ever. Couldn't we have at least seen them be put in cells and then they could escape or run the prison themselves like Grimer did? That'd at least make more sense instead of making the heroes look brain dead. I hate meta logic. Like, oh, Robotnik still has to be a villain because he's part of the games. Techno explains that apparently Eggman's device has had the same effect as the Ultimate Annihilator in Archie because it weakened the barriers between zones. Specifically, she says that the merged dimensions have opened up gateways to Earth at any place in any time period, since that makes total sense. I guess this will be their excuse for an adventure adaptation. Like, so again, the only reason this happened is meta logic. Because otherwise, why Earth in particular? Why not the dimension that's closest to it? Earth is pretty far away from Mobius. Sonic is happy that they'll have more exciting danger, runs off saying they've got new zones to explore rather than being happy that he's reunited with his friends and hugging them or wanting to spend quality time with them. No, instead he just runs off. And the story ends with the Frog Princess ruling some frogs with the magic gem, finding life as a frog nice. Oh, that's nice. I'm conflicted between thinking it's kinda nice that she has a happy ending and being frustrated because she was such a horrible, spoiled brat and she still doesn't get karma. She just goes straight back to a life of luxury, when you think she would just have a life as a normal frog. Why would they accept her as royalty? The only story was by Lou Stringer, and it involves Eggman's world merging device working perfectly fine as it simply expands Mobius in size to make room for the Microverse's zones, with no mention to the planet having an increased gravity from bigger size. That's pretty cool. I love that the heroes will still get to explore it, while Sonic doesn't have to remain trapped there to do that. And the Frog Princess actually got to be useful by preventing Eggman from merging as ruler of the world in a Chekhov's gun, as she used her extendable tongue to steal his gem of invisibility. That's more creative than having Sonic defeat him, but I really would have expected Sonic to be the one to do that with his super speed, instead of Fang using a ray gun to make him sit down, and then Sonic being a total dunce by just talking instead of just running at the gem. Also, Techno explains that gateways have emerged to Earth for no other logical reason than to have an adventure adaptation. Because come on, it was explicitly stated that Earth was like half the multiverse away, so it's not like it's the universe closest to Mobius. Why it and not some other zone? And I can't stand it anymore. Here's what's enraging. Why oh why did the heroes let Eggman and Grimer leave? The last time when they were removed from power, the heroes were very quick to arrest them, tie them up. Why couldn't Sonic have gotten some duct tape at Sonic speed and tied them up and gone them to prison, like he was originally planning to do? You could still have them escape the prison because bullshit, Grimer took over his prison, but at least that way the heroes won't be handed an idiot bowl so incredibly massive that it gave me bad memories of how Flynn wrote the heroes in the Iron Dominion saga, where they lost 300 IQ points to keep waltzing right into someone who could control them. And not to mention, it reminded me of how the heroes didn't arrest Eggman when his mecha was destroyed near their nanite city, and didn't arrest Eggman when he had a breakdown. But at least in Archie, it made sense that a literal fanfiction writer would have his writing be forced sometimes, after he's taken the comic under his wing, not to mention having executives kind of forcing him to do stuff he doesn't want to do. Honestly, I think Flynn is best when he's not restrained by the executives. I heard that IDW is very safe and toothless, and that's probably a good way to prove my point. That kind of mind-numbingly stupid idiot ball for the characters just from meta logic feels kind of jarring, especially in Plateway, where such idiot balls to force the story concepts aren't extremely common. It's not like it never has stilted writing, but Sonic's gonna regret not killing Eggman and Grimer here when he had the chance, or at least arresting them, or putting them in a coma, or making them quadriplegic from beating them senseless. It sounds harsh, but it's less brainless than letting complete monsters like them live and leave to do whatever they like. That's so irresponsible of him. I mean, he could at least say that he wants to let him live so he can keep fighting Badniks of theirs and getting thrills. And I'd expect better of Amy. I'd expect better of Techno. And I'd expect better of Sonic, who's supposed to be more genre savvy than that. Not only was Kid Icarus reverting to Eggman brain dead, but so was him being let go to continue threatening the world in the first place. On the bright side, Sonic's finally back on Mobius, but dozens of issues too late. So, it seems like this was a pretty frustrating issue to me. But I still like it better than Worlds Collide because at least it was all constrained to just one issue of frustration, not 12. And it's not extremely overrated by the fan base in spite of how forced this writing is. And it actually makes sense most of the time.